Hello, Don Jalbert here, August 15th. It's a Pace Podcast, Episode 5, Origins, Part 1. Woof, Part 1, because there's a lot to this. There's a lot that got to those blog posts about Afghanistan. Quick note about Afghanistan today is August 15th. It's Sunday afternoon. The country is collapsing. Afghanistan is collapsing. Uh, it's a shame. I'm not going to go into more detail than that. It's just a shame. But let's talk about origins and the origin of the pace. And the pace for me started in when I was 23 years old. Before I was 23, I was raised. My parents got divorced when I was 6. My dad was busy raising my sisters and I, and he was doing everything he could to do it. Uh, there was not a lot I could ask him about because he was a lineman. He didn't go to college. He didn't join the military. He was born in Rhode Island, went to high school in Rhode Island, worked in Rhode Island, lived in Rhode Island. Um, he, so to ask him different things, he really didn't know, and he really didn't have the time. And not from a negative standpoint. He was raising us. He raised us. It was amazing, and he fought for custody of us. And there's actually a side note where, well, I'll tell you about it one of these days in another blog post. But I'll tell you what's interesting is when I became 18 and I was like, what do I do? There was nobody there. There was really nobody there to ask, and we're trying to figure it out. And somewhere along the line, when I was in the Air Force, I was looking at how we were doing business, the unit I was in, and I said, you know what? There's a better way to do this. We need to operate like this. This is how we need to operate. So we had an operational plan. And I said, you know what? This operational plan makes no sense. We should do this. And as a 23-year-old kid, that was ridiculous that I would come up with an idea like that. But I thought about it. I started approaching people about it and lobbying because that was my decision. I was like, I got to get people on my side. So the pace was born. It just came forth, Big Bang Theory. And I said, okay, first thing I need to do is lobby people to my side, explain that it means, take their feedback, but then keep pushing, 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 pushing. And it worked. And that allowed us to change the way we did things, which was a success. The new operational plan was a huge success. And then there was another little caveat that happened where, again, the plan came down, didn't make much sense. I recommended a solution. Everybody was on board with a new solution, except for the people who came up with the original plan. They did not like the changes we made, but we executed better. And so we were kind of insulated from their criticism, which was good, and I was very thankful for that. And it worked out. And then 2 years after that, we were in combat, and we were using the operational plan that I had come up with. So that's one of the key things, and I'll talk about it. Is if you're executing, you don't hear the negative, you don't hear the noise, you don't hear and you don't hear it good or bad. I mean, you love the compliments. Yeah, the people stabbing you in the back are no good and it hurts, but you're still executing it. Every day you're waking up and you get that pace and you got it in your mind and you're moving forward, moving forward, moving forward. And I don't know if I already mentioned, I got the Air Force shirt on and I've got my Air Force hat on because my origin is as a 23-year-old kid where I discovered the pace is when I was in the Air Force. And I talked about fitness and I talked about decisions, pace of decisions. And that 23 is when I started my fitness journey. And that's when I first saw where I was at, where I knew I wanted to get to, and I made a decision, laid out the plan, and executed it. That's the origin. So everything before I was 23 years old, I was a screw up. There was nothing I was doing right. Uh, Now I had success, but that was just not like I had afterwards. It was just hard work, smart, inheritance, DNA, you know, but it wasn't executing a plan. It wasn't coming up with an idea. It wasn't being a model citizen. It wasn't being an awesome individual. It was just being. And that is different than executing. So the pace originated when I was 23 years old. Now, I'm not going to tell you how long ago that was, but it was a long time ago. And, there's a saying that some people have no idea what's going on. Some people wonder how it's happening, and some people are making it happen. And at 23, I made some stuff happen. Now I did it again. I did it, I can think of one, two, three times very, very successfully between my Air Force time and when I left to go to Afghanistan. And then the benefit of Afghanistan was I started writing the blog posts, and I was tired. I was working 7 days a week, 12-hour days. It wasn't easy. I didn't enjoy it. Well, I won't talk about enjoy. I was on pace. I'll just leave it at that. And we were executing, and it was a blast. And I worked hard, and people knew that. People knew. So, uh, the origin, part one, when I was 23 years old and in the Air Force. So, we'll cover more deeply. It's a Sunday afternoon. NASCAR's on. More information about the Taliban. It's not all good news out there, but as long as you're on pace, as long as you're executing, keep your head down, keep going. Don't put your head in the sand though. So, thanks for playing along. I'm kind of now thinking about the Afghan situation, so I'm kind of like it's hitting me, but I got a plan to execute. Not only with this podcast, not only with my fitness, but with my business as well. So, uh, the pace when you go from wondering what's going on to figuring out how it's going on and executing, making that decision, figuring out where you need to get to, and laying out that plan. So, as I wrap up this podcast, I pray for the safety of those who helped us in Afghanistan and all those in Afghanistan. Um, and I hope the news gets better. I'm not sure it will. So, anyway, thanks for being here. Thanks for playing along. And episode 6, Monday morning, Monday morning, Monday morning. What are we going to talk about? Well, we are finally going to mention trade shows just a little bit. So I will talk to you then. Have a great day.